There you go. Did it pop up and tell you recording start on your end?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure, why not?
All
All
right.
right.
I'll be Luis from Mexico, and you're Mr. Morgan from the United States office.
Yes. Yes, I am. And I am here to meet with you and discuss about the recent decline in sales and the algorithm Informacion based in was it Mexico, and then there's a site in Guadalajara. Yeah, Guadalajara. All right. Yeah. Typically, I'm sure there's a lot more introduction and talking this and that. Well, let's get straight down to business, shall we? So,
Sure thing, Mr. Morgan.
so my goal here is to increase sale in future months and reduce the expenses at the Guadalajara site. And with that being said, I got 5 things I want to discuss with you and see, what we can work out. First is sales staff. Before the peso devaluation, the exchange rate was $1 to 3 pesos, but now it's $1 to 9 pesos. And because of that, the fluctuating with the price, sales have gone down. Hold on, am I reading that right? Sorry. Okay, so first things first is I want to see if you're able to hire in more sales staff. Because if you had more sales staff, that means get more sales for the year. And by doing the numbers, it seems like you'll still be under the budget by hiring 3 people. So expenses will still be good there. Let me see. Oh, and my predecessor from before, Alan. I didn't get his last name. Alan Pettinger. He said something about not putting more money into advertising and promotion, but I don't see a reason for this. Anyhow, so based off of the first part, is that something that we can do?
Possibly we could think about hiring staff, but really sales has been up in this Q2 since Q1. With the pesos devaluing, it's still up over the same period of last year. So we feel that, again, with that increased advertising, we could very well do more sales with the same staff that we've got, because the staff that we have is excellent at closing the sales. And we believe that the devalue of that peso down to up to 900 instead of 300 is the reason that sales are lacking, not because of the lack of sales staff.
Hold on, I'm just reading the info. Now, are you guys selling at a discounted rate? Is that what it was?
No, we're not currently selling at a discounted rate.
Okay.
Although we would like to sell at a discounted rate greater than the company standard of 10%, really to offset the devaluation of the peso in this down economy right now.
Now that is one of the things we'll be going over. But right now, I just wanted to see if we can bump up the staff just a little bit. See, I swear I read in here somewhere that off script. I swear I said something in here, something about um, AI not meeting the sales goals. But hold on. All right. Back in script. All right. So the second thing, now this is going to be a bit of a touchy subject. I'm a family man. I'm sure you are too. Family means a lot. This pertains to your brother, Jose Miguel Martinez. I see that you've employed your brother. Wait a second. He appears to be administrative, but there's already an office administrator at your location with zero experience in sales. And I just want to go over that for a second. Now, I mean, I don't see a problem with him working there. Don't get me wrong on that. But coming from the up end, they want to see him selling on commission and what have you, because it seems like his job has already been taken care of by your actual office administrator. I just want to touch base on what exactly does he do there?
Yeah, sure. So my brother, he was worked for me part-time when I was an independent salesperson for Algorithm and our competitor Seguro.
Mm-hmm.
When we created this new company, he invested his life savings into the venture, quit his full-time job, and became a full-time member of this team. He does handle all of the administrative tasks at the office, which leaves myself time to focus on sales and not having to worry about running the business from the operation standpoint. We do in fact also have a receptionist who is our initial point of contact that has excellent skills, that's able to really create a good an environment for the customers, and they feel confident in our organization based on their first contact. So that's kind of what they both offer. It's two separate skill sets that adds a lot of value and frees up a lot of time for myself and the other sales team.
Okay. I'm not suggesting anything like having him being let go or anything. What the higher ups wants to know is why is he the second highest salary in the company, and they're kind of suggesting that he start selling on the commission as well.
Yeah, so he's definitely the second highest salary in the company because of the skills that he does bring to the table. The investment is as part, owner of this business down here in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
If he was to start selling, that would take away his time from administrative tasks, which could potentially cause me to have to stop selling or reduce my time selling to do administrative tasks, such as payroll, scheduling, working with clients, going to see clients, and things like that. So it's kind of it could potentially be a net zero gain if we change the role of my brother.
Okay. Well, the higher ups seem to think differently on that matter. They think that your receptionist and or other sales team people can handle phone calls and that and what have you on that part. We just want to see a little bit more from him in order for him to maintain having the second highest salary, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think that that's something that we're not able to do. I think we can trial that for sure.
Okay.
My brother has proven that he's a team player and he's all in on this project.
Okay.
That's something I don't have any reason that we can't trial that.
Okay. All right. That takes care of 1 and 2. Third bulletin is sales staff compensation. Now, I understand that in your location, the commission it's a commission pool. Is that correct?
That is correct.
where everyone gets a certain percentage. Let me see. Tell me more about this commission pool. It's very different on how in America how Salesforce work out here. Tell me a bit more about this commission pool.
Yeah, so in Mexico, it's common that organizations, everyone operates as a team rather than independently, as you described there in the United States. So when a salesperson completes a sale, there could have been other salespeople involved with that sale. Certainly, the receptionist was involved with that sale. Other members of the team were in that sale. So the reasons that we do the community pooling there is because every member of our organization is part of selling that product to the end customer. So the receptionist has just as much value to the sale, and she's that much more interested in making sure the sale goes through, and that shows with her customer service. That's why we prefer to do community pooling it down in Mexico, because of the team and family environment.
Okay. In that sense, it does make sense. Now, how does that make your you have two outstanding salespeople that are getting the same commission as your least selling salespeople? They're both getting the same commission. Wouldn't that seem a little unfair for your top performing salespeople?
Possibly, but the top performing salespeople are generally the older staff that we have here. They've been doing it a long time. In Mexico, your client list is very important. Can travel with you from job to job. And these older staff members that are selling more CDs have taken these younger salespeople under their wing to train them and to build their client lists. That's one of the reasons for the disparity in sales. It's almost like an apprenticeship role. And then as they get older and they replace the older folks on the staff, they of course will become the highest selling members of the team as well.
Well, according to this, it seems like the older ones are generating the lower sales, and the younger ones are the two young ones are the outstanding ones. And it seems like the three, what is it? The three poor performers, I think they used to work for you in a previous job. Is that correct?
I don't have that information. We don't keep the budgeting information in Mexico. That was all done by your predecessor.
Okay.
He was never able to share that with me or the team down here in Mexico. So we don't focus on those budgeted numbers as much because we've never been part of that discussion.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons we focus on the team environment and making sure that everyone is well taken care of and we all work together.
Okay. Well, is there some way that we can compromise where everyone will still get a share of the commission pool? Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to change how you guys do it down there. But perhaps when it just comes to the sales rep themselves, perhaps based on their performance, they get a different percentage. Is that attainable by any chance?
It's possible. We may be able to talk about that later.
Okay. Okay. But you do. I understand, your perspective on it, but do you also understand how I see it as well?
I can understand that you might think that's desirable.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll put a pin on that. We'll come back to that. Fourth bulletin is the labor in Guadalajara. Let me see. It seems that there are, what is it? Oh, 1 second. Sorry, the Roomba was about to go off and it's about to make an awful lot of noise.
Oh, no worries.
Let's see. The labor in Guadalajara, we want the expenses to be reduced a bit. I want, I realize that there are, what is it? 5 line people that's in budget, correct?
Again, we don't have that budget, but that's how many people we have working there.
Yeah, that is 5 line, but also 2 temporary employees. Is that correct?
That's currently how many we have on staff.
Okay. Now, it says here it talks about the 2 temporary employees for absenteeism among the permanent employees. Now, obviously, again, in America, there is a certain amount of absenteeism that's allowed before they are terminated. How does that work in Mexico, or should I say Guadalajara?
Yeah, so we absolutely want to hold our employees accountable for showing up to work each day.
Okay.
But in that region of Mexico, most of our employees don't have a car. They don't have their own transportation. They have to rely on public or private transportation to get to work, and it's very expensive. Many of them can't afford to pay for that transportation every day to get to work, and that's one of the reasons that after reviewing with our employees, that's one of the reasons that they struggle to make it to work. It's not because they don't want to, it's because they simply can't afford it.
Okay. I'm not saying we want to work towards eliminating all your temporary employees, but is there some way we can work towards maybe just having one temporary employee, as well as try to enforce a absenteeism policy? Granted, I understand that transportation is not a well, ideally what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a common thing as one would expect over here. But is that something that we can work on?
Very possible. So one of the solutions that we've proposed in the past was a transportation allowance to the employees, kind of framed up as an attendance bonus. So if you are able to show up for every scheduled shift, you could receive a transportation bonus, which will in turn, hopefully assure that you're at work for each scheduled shift. We propose that if that is the case, that if we're able to make sure that the scheduled employees show up every day, then we could definitely reduce headcount by 1 employee.
Okay, that is okay. Let me go ahead and write that down. That is something that we can definitely work with.
That's also very common down here in Mexico. The companies do that. It's not an original idea that I came up with. That's what a lot of our other businesses down in Mexico are doing, is offering that transportation bonus to accommodate those employees that may be struggling with transportation costs.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So it seems like we were able to work out something for that bulletin point. If we can implement this transportation absenteeism bonus policy, whatever we decide to call it, for rewarding employees, be able to come to work, not calling off, then we can definitely do something about that. That is, of course, we can ideally remove at least one of the temporary employees.
Certainly, I think that's what we can do. That's a good option for us, and we believe it's the best option for us to improve employee attendance and also reduce that overall headcount.
Okay. All right. So, all right. We're good on that one. All right.
All right.
All right. That's good to hear that we got some, progress going on. All right. So number 5, pricing and sales growth. The Algorithm USA wants to increase sales in Mexico, and I'm sure you do as well, because, more sales means more commission. Everyone's happy. Now, we do discourage selling below at a listed price. And it says that presently we're only allowing a 10% discount off the list price. Is that correct?
That is correct. That
Okay.
is absolutely correct.
All right. And let me see. And the previous, my predecessor, Alan, he indicates that you've asked for a 25% discount. Now, correct me if I'm wrong at any point. Now, we can bump up that discount to a 25%, but only as an incentive. Only it's temporary. Because we want the volume of sales. We want that to match our goals for second quarter, third quarter, so on and so forth. But we can initially start it at a 25%, and once sales goes up, we're going to have to drop that discount further on down the range, drop that discount a little bit after a little bit. Let me see, where was I going with that? And at the lowest will be at 15% discount. Now, is that like a plan that we can probably work out with?
It's possible. So if I suggested a 25% decrease there, that's probably a good number.
Okay.
We feel like with the devalue of the peso from 300 to 900 being the cost of the CD, we feel it's very important to have kind of a separate price list from what you have in the United States, because obviously we're working with different currency. If the United States dollar decreased by that much, sales in the United States would definitely begin lacking, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'd like to see is a price list that's specific for Mexico. So in turn, is the folks down in Mexico here are paying a fair price for the product, because right now they're paying 3 times what they would have paid initially, which is absolutely going to affect us increasing our sales. But
Very
if we
true.
were able to have a price list that was more in line with local kind of currency here, we do feel like we would be able to continue our excellent sales growth that we had in Q1.
Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong; those are excellent points. And the dollar to peso, it always fluctuates, but it doesn't mean it's going to forever stay at the rate it is at right now. And we feel like we can initially start it at a 25% discount, and if things improve over time, we can start slowing that down. Now, granted, if it doesn't change, or if it gets worse, then you and I will probably have another conversation in the future. But is that something that we can agree with as of right now, initially at a 25% discount, and then with the increment of going down a little bit by a little bit over time?
Sure, I think that's a fair fair idea there, that we were able to do that.
Okay.
And of course, as the peso is to increase in value, hopefully that would be in line with the incremental changes. Again, if the peso was to lose more value or not regain some of the value, as you said, I think we'll have to kind of have another conversation on this.
Yes, most definitely. Yes. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay, we got that one done. All right, so let's go back to our previous bulletin points. I know, I don't want to see, point you out or anything or confrontational, but you weren't really giving me a strong. You're being more vague in a sense. With we could possibly do it and such. Uh, but I want to work things out so that that AI can work out just fine without any without any complications, and then you don't have to talk to me anymore. Everything goes back, everyone's happy again. So let's go back to sales staff. Yes, going back to the dollar being 9 pesos now, it tripled starting in January. Um, is that something that we can work out with hiring just a couple additional salespeople, but it will still be under the budget?
I mean, it's something to discuss, but I think one of the differences in Mexico here is that if you hire a staff member, that staff member is going to be expecting a 2 to 4 week bonus around Christmas time every year.
Okay.
And then if you cut ties with them after a year, the severance for those individual people is going to be 3 months' salary as well. So the cost here in Mexico to hire employees is very high. In addition to, we're currently closing the sales that we're getting. If we increase the advertising that we discussed earlier, we believe that will bring in more leads. And with the team that we've got and the track record that we've got, we believe we can close those sales with the staff that we have without reducing labor costs and only reducing that advertisement cost.
Okay. How about this? Sort of a compromise. If you can just hire one additional salesperson, I don't see a problem with the advertisement still being towards like the promotion and such. Instead of putting all the money towards salespeople and taking away from advertisement, I think we can do a little bit of both. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea that you want to bring in more people to increase sales. But on the other part of our business, we're trying to reduce the headcount to save that cost. And if we bring in more people on the sales team, again, we're adding labor rather than reducing labor, and we don't currently have any struggles with staffing in the sales department. We don't have a lack of sales because of staffing. We simply have a lack of sales because of the value of the peso, and our customers here in Mexico are not willing to pay that much. Another focus that we have here is training seminars generates income for us in Mexico as well. We can't hire folks off the streets of Mexico that can come in and be successful trainers and create profit for us either. So it's really those skills are what allow us to continue to make money. And again, with that increased advertising and the team that we've got, and again, with the way we operate as one unit with our community pooling of the commissions, we really feel like we can increase those sales with the other arrangements that you've agreed to so far with the discount on the software.
Okay. Okay. Now, I do know that Alan has brought this up with you previously about hiring in more staff. Is that pretty much the same reasoning you gave him as to why that hasn't happened?
No, that wasn't the same reason. That when Alan was in your role, the peso was a much better value than it is now.
Okay.
Again, Alan just wanted to raise sales based on the budgeted numbers that he created, but he never shared with us. So he's generating numbers and budgets and expectations without truly coming down and understanding the business, not understanding the client list that we have, and the competition that's down in Mexico as well.
Okay. All right. All right. You have your point. Now, granted, you know, I'm not expecting all of these things to be changed. I'm not going to try to tell you how to do exactly what you have to do to maintain the company on your end. But if we can work on, about half or maybe 3 out of the 4 bulletin points, I think we can see progress in the AI and the Guadalajara. Granted, we already discussed about the Guadalajara, so that one's gold. If we can't add in more sales staff, we need to discuss either about the commission. Actually, yeah, let's go to the commission. You said that there's some chance of that to happen, whether it's not completely taking out the commission pool that you guys have, but about a little bit about whoever is being exceedingly well for that month, let's say, they get a better percentage of the commission. Like, is that something we can work with?
It's definitely a good idea that probably works for your business there in the United States, but in Mexico here, it's the custom to do it as a group in the community there. If we were to award folks for high performance, then it would really devalue the team environment and could create competition within our 4 walls, which is something that in Mexico is just not custom.
Okay, but to argue against that point, someone who barely maintains his role will still get the same amount as someone that's been working hard for that month. How does that seem fair to the hardworking one? It almost seems as if the guy that's barely putting in his effort is taking advantage of it. Do you see where or how I'm looking at this?
Sure. So it's we definitely do performance evaluations on the staff that's not directly or 100% tied to sales volume.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned earlier, it's a team effort, so the sales may not be equally divided amongst the team, but the work is done there. The management team does do reviews of each employee to ensure that they are being effective members of the team, even though the budgeted sales numbers or revenue that you're seeing in the U.S. on our reports may not make sense to you, but we do in fact ensure that they are performing as part of the team.
Okay. I'll hold up. Off script. Hold on. Did we exceed our time limit, by the way?
I think I'd set it for 30 minutes because you had said 10:30 to 11 because you had something to go.
Yeah, I got to take my dog to the. I'm talking about the actual negotiation. Isn't there like a time limit?
Oh yeah. I think it was 30 minutes because then it's 45 total. So we can really probably close up.
Okay.
I've got a pretty good list of what your points. I don't know where you checked off on the final.
Well,
where you're at, but.
Well, I think we've agreed with the pricing and sales goals, and the labor in Guadalajara. I think we got those pretty good. We reached an agreement with there. But the company seems.
So your second point was the brother. That's covered. I think we're good on that. He's just going to assume more responsibility in sales.
Yes,
So I
please.
think the open points are 1 and 3, correct?
The sales staff compensation and the sales staff in itself. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get this, because I really don't want this to go into an impasse. Um, I really want to work well with you. I really want to work something out, and it's I don't want these changes to be happen. It's both of our bosses that wants these changes done, and I want to see if I want to do whatever I can to help you. Just both of us get a win-win out of this, pretty much. And if your brother he can pick up on the sales stuff, that's great. We don't have to worry about that. I know the commission thing is more of a group thing, but is there? Tell me in a very uh, brief way about your performance evaluations then, if the commission can't be changed.
Yeah, so just kind of to touch on the first point real quick is that with hiring more staff, we've agreed to the concession that my brother will pick up some of the sales roles. So I kind of feel like that's going to help you with that.
Okay.
And share that information with your boss as well. As far as the performance evaluations, we have a form that we use that tracks the different skill sets in the office. Some of it, the making the sale was creating the paperwork, closing the deal, legal documents and things like that. So those folks may be part of that team that's doing that rather than having their name directly attached to the sale. So those are the things that we also review in their performance evaluations. So we definitely don't have members of our team that are not providing value. We have in the past had employees that do that, and we effectively remove them. We don't allow any free riders in AI in Mexico.
Okay. Well, I now you have three salespeople, which wait a minute. Well, now I know the three least performing ones were our longtime associates of yours prior to AI. Is there any way that you perhaps can talk to them and see if they can improve on their sales?
It's possible.
Okay, there's that word again.
Again, with the three that came with me from the initial phase, they brought their long list of clients. Those are the clients that we're selling to. Again, they're training the younger staff members how to complete the sale. So their client list is absolutely invaluable to the team.
So are they giving some of those sales to the younger ones? Is that what's going on? So
Yeah,
they're
so
sharing some of their stuff? Oh, okay. But wouldn't it make sense that if their scores are about equal to each other instead of the young ones being a lot higher than them?
Yeah, so we don't view it as a race like you do in the United States.
Okay.
Our goal is not to have one employee that's better than another employee. And everyone understands that it's one team and one effort.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Well, we got at least 3 out of 5 out of the way, and and I really don't want it to go into an impasse. All right, so to reiterate, your brother can start doing more selling on commissions, check. Guadalajara, check. Pricing and sales goals, check. Now, Algorithm USA, they want people to receive commissions based on their own sales volume and not on the basis of the office as a whole. Granted, I understand that that's against uh, your your cultural views on that matter. I understand that, but man, and I know I can't force it upon you to change that either. It's practically your decision. Um, man, but okay, if the commissions can't, yeah, this negotiation. Because now off script, I know that you're trying to play the role of him with the cultural views and all that good such, which it can be butting heads with this, but uh and it seems like we're not going anywhere with the sales people or the commission either.
No, I mean, I would agree. I've got, one other point I could bring up, with kind of to wrap it up for the back on script
Yeah,
scenario.
what's that?
Um, essentially you kind of just nailed it with the AI USA wants to kind of change how we do business down in Mexico.
Yes.
You've been a great, person to work with on your visit down here today. But if the USA team wants to change the way that we do things in Mexico, then it may be best that, I get a buyout from my portion of the business. So there's a clause there where within the 12 months I can get a buyout from AI USA. And if we're not able to build that relationship where Team USA is going to kind of respect the way that we do business in Mexico, we really probably want to kind of go our separate ways. I know that's not your view necessarily, but if that's the upper management's view, then that may be the best solution.
It doesn't say anything about giving you an early buyout, so I don't know how to handle that. But I mean, yeah, if we can't agree, I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to agree on every point, then I guess the buyout would be the best choice, and have Algorithm USA put in someone else to take charge of AI. All right, if we're at an impasse, that's pretty much what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. All right. Then all right, it's a predetermined early buyout. All right. All right. Well, all right. If that's what we agreed on, what is that even an agreement or is that an impasse? What would that be then?
Um, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's with, let me pull up the other contract form. I think if we put our details on there, I'd say it's definitely not an agreement.
Okay, then I guess it's not an agreement. All right. We tried, right?
I think it's worth, we fill out this contract form, not an agreement, but put, we agreed on 3 out of the 5, put a couple of details on that.
The additional terms or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's fair to kind of put where we ended up at.
Yeah. Okay. Now towards the bottom of it, you know how it says, "How would you describe your negotiator style?" I'm gonna try to, actually no, I'll skip that because I can do that on my own time. Feedback I give to my partner: you played your role excellently because I worked abroad and the culture differences, the communication barriers thing, it is a serious thing that happens. And a lot of times, especially Americans, us that's never been abroad, they don't get that, and we're still thinking in our ways, they're stuck with their ways, and nothing gets agreed on. So yeah, you played your role great. Um, stuck with the cultural differences slash perspectives. I think I had the most fun with this one, to be honest. Stuck with your culture perspective. Great negotiation. Come on. Negotiation. All right. I'm coming. I'm coming. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. And feedback I received from my partner that, I did a crap job,
No, certainly I thought it was good. I thought you did the role really well. Again, I thought you're, very collaborative, trying to work with me on, what I wanted to do, trying to understand the culture in Mexico. You kind of use the technique to kind of balance out the company's opposition to what I want to do with, leveraging upper management as kind of the person. So you wanted me to really like you, versus you being the one to kind of direct me on what I should do, knowing that I probably didn't want to do it. So, I thought that was good. You know, Generally that's going to be much better than you weren't adversarial to me. But I just relied on the customs and culture of Mexico. So I thought you did a great job. You listened when I spoke, with the active listening. Overall, I thought we had a pretty good negotiation here.
I think we did. Like, this is the closest one to reality as opposed to the other ones we've done throughout this class. I think this one has been by far the most realistic one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, good deal. I'll post this up to YouTube. I'll send you the link for that.
Are you gonna send it to like my inbox or something, or?
Yeah, I'll send it to your on Canvas, I guess, because I don't think you got my email. For whatever reason, when you send stuff through Outlook, I've had two different folks. You don't get them through Outlook, but I get them through Canvas. So
Yeah, same here. I don't get how. Yeah. Anyways.
I don't know why they don't do the same thing, but I'll send you the link probably to both if I can.
All right.
As long as it takes me to upload this video, I'll send it to you here shortly.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Good luck in the class. Bye.
Yeah, you too.